All right, going to be doing a comic review from a book sent to me by my friend Chris. Thank you as always, brother. Today we're going to be talking about JSA, the Infinity Inc. versus the Justice Society. This is the first volume of Jeff Lemire's run on Justice Society. Now, I really like the Justice Society as a team, but I never really had a lot of comics of them. I've never really had a lot of stuff regarding them. So to start reading the JSA now is really cool. Like, I really do like the idea of reading comics of the JSA. So, Chris, thank you for that. Yeah, this also feels like it's a culmination of like a lot of other stuff, like the JSA miniseries involving Jay Garrick, Alan Scott, and Wesley Dodd, the Sandman. Because there's a lot of elements in here, and this also feels like this was meant to be the wrap-up to Jeff Johns' short-lived Justice Society run, which, only lasted 8 issues, and it took, 5 years to get, 8 issues out? Yeah. So I feel like this story arc that's going on now is the leftovers of Jeff Johns' run, and when we get to the next the current story arc called JSA Year 1, which Jeff is hailing as his favorite story he's written in a long time, I feel like that's going to be his work. He's just taking the piecemeal stuff of what Jeff Lemire was planning. I mean, it's Jeff Johns was planning. So, for those wondering, this comic hits the ground running with a storyline that the JSA has been divided. Half the society is trapped in the Tower of Fate with the new Dr. Fate, Khalid, who's trying to get them out of there. You got Ted, Jay, the Hawks, and Alan. They're all there in the tower. While the rest of the team, formerly known as Infinity Inc., which used to be a thing in the 90s, led by Jade, Alan's daughter, they are basically trying to hold the fort and figure out what happened to the rest of the Justice Society. What they don't know is that the Injustice Society is it's a big orchestrated attack by the Justice Society, and the team is essentially none the wiser as they're being assailed by all of these oncoming threats. Like, they are just getting bombarded by all of these major threats, and they are off guard. Even, in fact, Obsidian, Jade's brother, is actually Johnny Sorrow in disguise, which is a character I really enjoy. It's one of those villains where it's like, I don't know if I'd call him one of my favorite villains, probably not, but Johnny Sorrow is a villain I would be like, hey, you're fun, I like you. Yeah. So this comic is pretty solid, I'm not gonna lie. Even though, yes, it does do the thing where it's like it throws you in the middle of the comic. It throws you in the middle of the story and doesn't tell you until issue 2. It's a little bothersome, but I forgive it. I also really enjoy the artwork in here by Diego Orlotegu and Joey Vasquez. God, I hope I'm saying those names right, because it's really damn good. Like, there is one art image alone that stands for itself, and it's that. Like, how good is that, right? I really love all these little pieces here and there that are being put together in this comic. I thought I saw a big bug fly by. Anyway, I really like all the elements that are coming together in this book. I also really like the absolute cohesion the old guard and the new guard have. Like, it's basically Jade is trying to bring the new guard together, and the old guard is really holding their own with, like, Ted being... I love this moment where Ted's like, these guys, I'm fighting with literal gods and people with superpowers and all that, and all I can do is just punch people. But you know what? I'm still here. It's also really cool to see the Injustice Society, especially this one with all the pieces of, like, Dr. Elemental from the Jay Garrick miniseries. You've got all these other characters that have been put together in pieces. The one thing I don't like about it, and maybe it's just me, is that Scandal Savage is a member of the Injustice Society. And this is speaking as someone who really loves Gail Simone's, Gail Simone's Secret Six. It's really, really I really miss that version of Scandal Savage, because that character's no longer around anymore. I don't want to be my father, I don't want to take over the world, I don't want to do this, I would just want to be with my girlfriend Knockout. and also it feels like she's more two-dimensional, like one-dimensional villain in here. She even feels like she's just talked down to half the comic, and I'm like, man, this ain't the not hashtag not my scandal. But yeah, the comic really just puts the JSA through the absolute ringer. These guys, like the Injustice Society, just beats them down, and there is a death that happens at the end of this book that I am not going to spoil. That was like, oh shit, that happened, and yeah. So I'm really excited for when Volume 2 arrives, and I really want to keep reading this. JSA is incredibly solid. Like someone who doesn't read a lot of JSA, I want to keep reading this. Anyway, so do I recommend Jeff Lemire's Justice Society of America? Absolutely. I don't know if I'd call this a great jumping on point because it feels like you're in the middle of a story and it also requires a lot of background reading. But I probably would say maybe wait until his JSA, his third volume, which I know is a weird thing to say. But that's where it feels like I said, this feels like where he's taking the stuff built up in Jeff Johns' run and probably wait till Volume 3 for JSA Year 1, then go from there. But I do like it. Anyway, so you guys tell me in the comments below, if you've been reading Jeff Lemire's JSA, let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Chris, thank you once again, man. Bottom of my heart, thank you as always. And yeah, other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.